When was the first time the K-wave hit you? Was it K-pop, K-drama, K-beauty, or maybe even mukbang videos on YouTube? A lot of us take Korea's international reach for granted these days, but that presence in our lives has been carefully orchestrated by the Korean government for decades, and this week we're being reminded that Stray Kids play an integral role in this too. It's August 2019, the week of Chan's Room episode 35, and Stray Kids have been invited to perform at the East Asian Art Festival as Hallyu or K-Wave ambassadors. This festival is hosted by the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism's Korean Overseas Culture and Information Service. In the past, this organization had partnered with K-pop groups each year for the Talk Talk Korea Festival, but 2019 was the first time they appointed an honorary ambassador, and out of all the rising K-pop groups in the country, Stray Kids was given this designation. It's one thing, especially seeing the success the boys have met with now, to brush this aside as one item in a long list of honors the kids have been given, but we're zooming out quite a lot today to gain perspective on how significant it was for Stray Kids to become official cultural ambassadors. It's easy to forget how quickly South Korea has advanced and modernized in the wake of both their liberation from Japanese colonial rule and the Korean War armistice. Through decades of post-war recovery efforts, South Korea has gone from having one of the poorest economies in the world to standing as a beacon of economic success. And while they've achieved this through a great deal of hardship and a variety of means, most of which hinged on their rapid industrialization efforts, it can't be denied that the shift towards exporting Korean culture itself has had a massive impact on the country's economic success and global reputation. The first generation of the Korean wave, or Hallyu, started in the late 90s with the rise in popularity of Korean television shows amongst neighboring countries. But the second wave, which began in 2008, is one that captured the attention of the rest of the world, with Psy's Gangnam Style bringing the concept of K-pop to many world audience for the very first time. Korean culture as an export has become a massive part of South Korea's economic success, and while it's a lot of lighthearted fun for consumers of Korean culture, this is something the government takes very seriously, with governing bodies dedicated to cultural advancement. K-pop is a part of South Korea's geopolitical strategy, and in 2019, Stray Kids were deemed significant enough to become a player in this global effort. We saw a really dramatic example of this when the kids were invited as one of the first K-pop acts to perform in Saudi Arabia in July of 2019. But at this point in the rewatch timeline, this is playing out on a more domestic level, with an invitation to perform at the East Asian Art Festival, which for Stray Kids was a relatively small event taking place offline at the Incheon Culture and Arts Center. This kind of event might not seem significant at first from a fan's perspective, especially when it wasn't even officially recorded, but it signals that a much deeper investment has been made. Stray Kids have been deemed worthy of helping carry the country's economic success. From the here and now, we can see this was a wise investment. So many of us being international fans who have come to appreciate and invest in Korean culture as a result of finding Stray Kids. We'll see even more of this play out as we catch up with the week of Chan's Room episode 36 next. I'll see you then.